Well, hello everybody and welcome to Back 10's prediction show. I am your host, Kyle Amor, and joining me, Matt Shaw, and a man who divides the city of Hull. It's Paul Cooke. Cookie, good to have you.
Nice to be here, Carl. Thank you for having me.
Well, look, guys, there's no need to go too much into detail about last week. Of course, Monday's show, you can pick up on all that. A really good chat there with Paul Cooke regarding everything that went on over the weekend. So go back to that if you want to get all the news, views and latest bits in and around the weekend that's just gone. But for now, we're going to dive into our prediction show. It's this part of the show where we ask you guys each and every week to let us know your scorelines, your prediction and the winning margin. You can do that in the comments below. And also as well, if you're watching on a mobile phone or tablet, swipe left, you get 3 chances to hit that hype button and make sure that you hype us up here at Back 10. Help us to reach wider audiences so we can continue to grow our content. And also don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for us as well. Right, we will dive into game 1. Oh, before we do that, let's have a look at that table, Matt, because on Friday night, I went 26 points to 10. So I got the team, the margin, and the score. So
no one likes a bragger, Carl.
No one likes a bragger, but I left it late. But yeah, look, obviously we can see that table and what it means on the graphic below. Cookie, you've got a part to play this week. Each and every week, we ask our guests to be involved. Matt has a prediction and I do myself. And of course, more importantly, you guys at home too. So week 1, Hull KR v St Helens. Let's just have a quick talk about that before I get your predictions. Me personally, I think this is a free hit for St Helens. I really do. They've got nothing to lose in this game. And Hull KR are wobbling. I actually think, I said last week I didn't think St Helens would get through. I think they've got a real chance in this game, and I think I'm going to go with St Helens.
You're going with St Helens?
I think I'm going to go with St Helens, yeah.
Well, let's go back to the first bit. I want to ask both of you this. Is St Helens' season now a success? Would making a semi-final for this St Helens team be considered successful?
No. Only because I know the inner sanctum of the club, and I know that they demand trophies. There's 2 ways of looking at it, really, because obviously, you know, I live in the town and I've spoke to many fans, and they all have a concern that was that their grand final? Was that as big as that season gets? The reality is, Matt, they finished 6th last year and they finished 5th. So right now, that team, that squad, is essentially a mid-table side, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yep. If you look at you usually finish where you're meant to finish, right? Yep. Over the course of a season. However, you mentioned it on Monday's show, the amount of experience they have in there means that it's never over until it's over. Saturday certainly showed us that. But I don't think it's a success. I think they'll take it on reflection, but it certainly wouldn't be a success.
Well, I think it would be. I think for them to finish 5th and to make a semi-final, I think that would be successful for the club. They finished 6th last year, they've improved by a place, and they've made a semi-final before a grand final. If they do make the grand final, it would be considered an overachievement, maybe. So yeah, that's my stance.
I think they've already overachieved. I think you nailed it, Kyle. My issue with Saints, expectation, reality.
Yeah.
The expectation is we should win a grand final, or we should be in the grand final every year. The reality for me is they're not there right now. That squad isn't a grand final squad for me. And I think this is the issue that Paul Wellens has had this year. Because it's St Helens and because the people of St Helens think we are St Helens, we should be in a grand final. I just don't think that squad stacks up to Hull KR or Wigan across the board. They have players who absolutely would get in those teams, but I think across the board, they have an inferior squad.
And look, you know, obviously we've got the rest of this season to deal with and address, but I'm not hearing any noises about players coming in either. So they're going to lose Morgan Knowles, who for me, Cookie, is
irreplaceable. Irreplaceable. Yeah.
I think he is. I don't see anything out there at the moment that could replicate anything that he does and what he buys into that club. He's a natural leader. Doesn't say a lot, but boy does he play. Yeah, so look, it's a big moment in St Helens' in St Helens' time now. If they can get all the way and win it, well,
Yeah.
that would be something special.
I think Hull KR win comfortably at the weekend, and I say that because having watched Saints last weekend on Saturday night, I think Percival's playing on one leg.
Yep.
I'm not, and if the only chance I may give them is if Whitby comes back into the team. I don't think Lomax was great. I don't think Wellesby's a natural half. I don't think Saylor played great either.
Is Whitby ready though? Is he ready defensively? Is he ready, Cookie?
But possibly not. But then, they scraped home last week in the last play of the game, and there was arguably, Carl, even in your words, the second best team on the night by quite a long way. By quite a long way. And I think Hull KR will be relishing the fact, one, it wasn't Leeds, or isn't Leeds, and two, that you see the walking wounded of St Helens, how many elbow straps, knee straps, Percival on one leg. They've scraped home in the last second of a game. I think this may be a bridge too far for them, given Hull KR have had 16 days to prepare and rest players and rest and recuperate and be ready for this one. Okay.
With that in mind, fully understand, take everything on board there. No doubt about it. It'll be a great game to watch, and this way we want you guys involved as well. So just a reminder: 1 point for the correct team, 3 points for the correct margin, and 5 points if you were like me last Friday for the correct score. Isn't that right, Matt?
That is, yes.
Right, I'll start with you, Matt. Come on, Hull KR St Helens. Who wins it and by how many?
Hull KR will win. It's just by how many. I still don't see enough points in Saints. I know that they scored 3 tries, didn't they? But I'm going to go 22-8 Hull KR.
22-8 Hull KR. I'm going to go 14-12 St Helens. 14-12 St Helens. If I get this right, I'm not coming back. That's it.
You're dying out on it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'll tweet you every day.
There's a block,
until the final.
There's a block button.
Cookie, over to you.
Yeah, I think Hull KR win comfortably. I think they win 30-6.
Wow, 30-6. Can I blowout? Really?
I do on it. I just think that home ground, that home ground,
it is
it's a ferocious place to play.
One really quick one. We don't even have to discuss, just something that's come to mind. Do you keep John Bennison in the side? I thought he was good. I thought he was really good. But Kyle Felt's got the experience, been there, done
20 tries this season.
But
he's an aerial kick threat, isn't he? I think. Look, honestly, and this is no disrespect to John Bennison, but if you've got Kyle Felt or John Bennison, I think you're going for Kyle Felt in a big game. Absolutely. Right then, moving on. Wigan v Leigh. This promises to be an absolute humdinger. Cast your mind back to round 1. 1-0. 1-0. The ball, but if I think back, because I was on that game, the ball was in play for something ridiculous. Like, I think it was 19 minutes straight before the game sort of breaking play. And that was in round 1. I think Wigan threw everything that they possibly could at Hull KR and were confident that they could, not Hull KR, sorry, at Leigh, and they were confident that they could break them. They didn't break them that night. And, I know, look, it's a long, long time ago and a lot's happened there, but I think Leigh are going to bounce into this game very, very confident.
Yeah. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, and rightfully so, because that performance on Friday was tremendous. But is it enough to beat Wigan?
Ooh. You can't underestimate what the week off does. You've been there, Kyle, when you finish top 2 in the table. Yeah. You cannot underestimate that 2 weeks to prepare for a game when the other team is bashing hell out of another team and each other for a week. You cannot underestimate how much that week off brings to a team and a group of players who will come into the end of a long season. In terms of Wigan and Hull KR.
There's an art to manage that though, Cookie, isn't there? It's not just the case of week off, we all just chill out.
It isn't. The art to manage it is to discuss it with your senior players, discuss it with your staff if you're the head coach of either of them 2 clubs, and come to a common agreement where this is how much time you're going to get off, this is what we expect of you during your time off in terms of rest and recuperation, not going out and going on to the pub with your friends or going on to theme parks or overstimulating yourself. This is about rest, recuperation, getting the mind and body right, ready for a semi-final. So I think Willie Peters and Matt Peter are in such a strong position in terms of that. Now, Leigh are in a better position than Saints because Leigh won comfortably.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help Leigh this week. But I still don't see Leigh going to Wigan and beating Wigan, who are almost playing the best rugby at the end of the season, better than Hull KR even, in terms of performance, at home with 16 days to prepare.
Well, I tell you what also might be a very, very pivotal factor in this game. At the time of us recording this, we didn't know the outcome of the allegation that's been made against Lachlan Lamb to Mason Lino. If he doesn't play, I think it's goodbye Leigh Leopards. I think Lachlan Lamb, if he plays, they have a chance, they have an opportunity. But I just think, touching on what Cookie said there as well, and going back to your point earlier about big game players on Monday's show and at St Helens, but Wigan have been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and for me, they've got arguably, certainly the biggest superstar in the British game in Bevan French, and then they've got the little guy at the back who can just cut a game, or he doesn't even have to be in the game, does he? He can just have a moment of brilliance, moment of magic, and it's game over. For those reasons, I think Wigan will win. I think Wigan will win. I think it'll be a big battle, though. I don't think there'll be any one team who's going to blow another one away. I think I'm going to go Wigan Warriors win, and they will win this game 12-8. 12-8 I'll go.
I agree with basically everything you've said. Massive fan of what Leigh have become as a team, but Wigan just have that X factor that other teams don't. They have all the other ingredients, the toughness, the kicking game, all the things you need, but then they've just got that bit of special quality that makes them stand out above the rest for me. So I'm with you. There's no chance it'll be a repeat of last year when they blew them away and they won by however many points they won. Leigh were a far better team now, but I'm still going Wigan win. I'm going to go 14-8.
14-8 Wigan win, Cookie.
Yeah, I think Wigan win. I think that their big players are on the field at the end of the season. I don't think it matters if Lamb plays or not. I think that the only thing that matters with that is the scoreline. I don't think Leigh will score many points if Lamb doesn't play at all. If he plays, then they've got more chance of scoring points, obviously, with his assist record. But I think we can win 22 to 8.
22-8 there, Cookie. So, look, on that game, semi-final 2, all round at Wigan. Semi-final 1, the guys are going OKR, and I myself are dreaming of a Wigan Saints final. Who'd have thought that, eh? No, look, I said it all year. I think it would be a travesty for the game if it wasn't a repeat of last year's grand final. I just think that maybe St Helens have just got one more day in the sun. We'll get to find out, this weekend. After this weekend, we will know who is going to be walking out at Old Trafford. My thanks to Matt and Cookie. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype us up as much as you can. Take care, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.